called MakerDAO, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So decentralized finance, I think, from a technological point of view, is very enormous. Like the scope of that technology is going to be something that no one would have ever thought about. And then slowly and gradually, when DeFi is much more relatable to large number of audiences, people will shift. As smart contracts did with, as Ethereum did with smart contracts enabling the proof of concept to proof of stake वाली जो transition हुआ, DeFi के adaptability के बाद मतलब acceptance चाहिए DeFi में, that is what I think. जब वो आ जाएगी तो more people will be interested into creating something big in that sector.
I think
DeFi
Srishti is
में
in the space, right? Maybe she could shed some light on it if she
yeah,
wants.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, go ahead.
Srishti, go ahead.
Hi, Bas. Thank you so much. So, I just want to say is that in DeFi segment, a lot of work needs to be done. So, how I see it, that there is work which needs to be done on the retail segment, then the population that comes above the retail sector, and then there are the bankers. The bankers like Deutsche Bank doing transaction with or currency swap with another bank, the LIBOR case and all of that. So, I think these are the three areas that needs to be worked upon in the DeFi segment. Currently, I believe we are at the middle portion, which is we are looking at lending, staking. Retailers are not there, but in retailers, I mean that the people who belong to the top 5% of the pyramid are in that space. But regular people, the middlemen, are not yet there in the lending, staking, or the yield farming that is happening in the DeFi segment right now. So I believe a lot of work needs to be done to bring the retail population up to this level so that they also get to use DeFi. Currently, last I checked, I am not sure about the facts, but DeFi segment is only $90 billion as of now, which is much, much, much smaller than what is NFT ecosystem is. Which means NFT space is quite huge, and we have yet not explored what lies in the NFT space. And a lot of there is an NFT, and even if you're standing at lending, staking, and yield farming while a DeFi pay as of today, we're still not to the retailers aspect right now. Still a lot of work needs to be done. Also, this is again another speculation that DeFi is much smaller than what NFT could be in the future. But then what's going to happen is in DeFi is going to be really, really, really interesting to watch or probably to work on, because when you're working on or building something in the derivatives platform or in the swapping platform, you need to look in all the loopholes that comes into the picture. For example, if we see that this is on a very high level, for example, there are three counterparties which are trading with each other. Counterparty X is trading with Z and Z is with Y. So what happens in a traditional finance market is that all of these transactions get netted upon. Netted as in, if I owe Aryan $100 or he owes me $50, this amount will be netted off. In return, I only have to pay Aryan $50. This happens in traditional finance, and this is, I guess, logical as well. But however, in DeFi, this is still not there. You cannot net the transaction. If I owe Aaron 100, I have to pay him 100 and not 50, even if that amount is netted off. So I guess a lot of work needs to be done on the top segment as well as on the bottom segment. We are only in the lending and staking platform. And there was this last post which I shared on Nexus Mutual. So Nexus Mutual is also something working similar to CDS. CDS in traditional finance is known as an insurance contract. So what happens is whenever a trader is entering into a transaction with any bank or any counterparty, they buy insurance on their derivatives so as to hedge that transaction. So that hedging part is known as a CDS contract. So similar to that CDS which we have in traditional markets, Nexus created an insurance contract for the traders, so which is acting as an insurance market. However, again, they haven't yet entered the retail segment, as if they haven't entered the insurance wala part for the retailers. So it's just on the middle segment right now. So, but yeah, again, it's going to be really, really interesting to watch. I hope I was able to not complicate much. I
Yeah.
tried not to use any jargons, but I'm sorry I might have used a lot. So
No,
that's
no,
No,
I
no.
you
think
explained
the
pretty well.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah, you
yeah,
did pretty well, Srishti.
the
Yeah.
So I
P2B
just wanted to add,
the
like, to Shri's example of DeFi and NFTs being like two different space in what the total value locked looks like, right? Like what is the space's value or the market cap per se. I think there's an interesting conversation happening in this space that is DeFi is a lot more how do I say it? It's intimidating in many sense. Uh, out of anybody over here, 90% of people over here that are new to crypto will likely not enter DeFi as their first route into crypto. They likely go through coins, exchange, etc. What is the easiest way to onboard somebody into crypto? I have onboarded at least 50 people into the space, 50 to 100 people into the space just by giving them an NFT, right? An NFT is far more appealing. It has far more a mass appeal per se for people to get on board because it's art, it's fun, it's utility, it's memes, whatever, it's rubbish, call it whatever. It has the ability to onboard people. Now, how do I see NFT and DeFi coming together? If you all know, NFTs also have concepts of staking, generating returns, all sorts of things that are involved in DeFi. Surely DeFi is largely financialized in that sense, but NFTs are digital assets that are financialized as well. So I see there's a lot of discussion happening in the space about how NFTs will likely act as an on ramp for people to come and then join DeFi. So people will come, learn about NFTs because it's art, it's funny, it's whatever. They get used to it, they understand the basics of how to deal with a MetaMask wallet, how to deal with a Phantom wallet. From there, they are like, okay, NFT projects are going to teach you how to stake an NFT. So they understand the concept of staking an NFT. That means give me your NFT to hold for 1 year as a project creator. I will pay you X number of tokens, native tokens from that project. They understand the concept of staking. They understand the concept of receiving returns in turn for doing a particular activity. And now they go a step beyond and they are like, okay, DeFi is exactly the same thing that I can do this with any DEX or any swap, any place, right? Just go and use those services that are out there, and that will likely act as an on ramp for people. So it's an interesting concept on what could happen, and I feel like there's an amalgamation between NFTs and DeFi because it's the two most uh, important use cases of the blockchain today. Besides all the real world utility around supply chain management and all those things, this is purely online. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I just shared a great resource to read about NFTs. This
The
like by
staking one, right?
the staking one, NFT staking.
Yeah,
So you can just bookmark it, and a lot more resources also up there for
yeah.
everyone. Yeah, Vivan.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this, the way decentralized finance as a uh, utility for all those people who don't understand it. They need to understand that it's still at the ideation phase. Matlab, it's not very rigid that people might be very much that people might get very much familiar by using it for the first time. It's still into the lending and the staking business. It's still peer to peer as of now. So it's very difficult to understand the working of it as of now, just because the regulation part that happens in central financial institutions, it might impose some some uh, trouble to uh, DeFi. So I think DeFi basically is a very small fish in a very large ocean as of now, right now, because it's still uh, incoming. It's still emerging, and many of the people won't even understand, right, what decentralized finance could do to them on a very personal level. Just like uh, Abbas said, you onboard people by making them realize that this is fun. Yeah, this is something that you might need, or this is something that might be helpful in the future. That is what you do with the NFTs, right? You tell them that this is a digital asset. You take it. Sometimes later you can sell it, or you can store it. The value might be higher and stuff. You lure into them understanding that this is how it's going to work, bit by bit, or stone by stone. But with DeFi, it's going to be really challenging for all those people who are actually working on it, making any sort of decentralized app around it, because the way we understand any financial transaction or an institution, it's very basic. It's very layman. So if you go and try to make people understand that what is DeFi to a average Joe, it would be very difficult, because DeFi is currently, as of now, the things that I've read or heard or learned, It's basically into the lending side, where you go and what happens simply and on a central banking system, that if you want to loan something, you go to the bank, you apply for a loan, and then you get it. But decentralized finance doesn't allow you any kind of third party in intrusion in it. You just need to, the algorithm does the work for you, and you get matched with some other peer who might lend you some money, whatever you need through that platform. So yeah, there are so many jargons, there are so many small tits and bits that we need to focus on in order to get a better understanding of decentralized finance. But again, from a technological point of view, it's going to be revolutionary. Just as NFT is revolutionary for the artist or who is working on the creative space, decentralized finance is going to be something which is actually the core of financial technology per se. Yeah.
Yeah, man, 100% agree on that.
I would really ask everybody, what is your preference as of today? Would you go for a traditional banking system to uh, handle all your finances, or would you prefer to have a DeFi if it comes in the future, or whatever is present as of now? Anybody good?
So at the moment, I think would really like whatever traditional banks or neobanks we have, I like to use that. Might explore a DeFi a bit, but not really fully, not be fully dependent on that.
Yeah, just because you don't understand it, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the main
fully. I
factor
don't
as
understand
of
it
now.
fully. That's the reason.
Yeah. So just get one more request. Aryan is not able to, so you can remove
Yeah, yeah, I
him.
can remove.
He's not able to speak.
I
Yeah.
myself have been like four times, five times out of the space.
There's so many people we can ask their point of view if they have something to add. We have Vibin, Ayush, Bunny.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
Awesome, Vivan. So, like, I mean, for a person like me who is just exploring DeFi, like getting uh, deep down into the DeFi space, I would certainly say that I still trust the banking side of it, because what happens is that, okay, I mean, there are different platforms for DeFi in terms of, you getting the flash loan side of it, and or you staking your platform. I mean, you staking your cryptos into the other platform. So what happens is that right now, everything and anything that's happening on the DeFi, I mean, in the DeFi space, right? It's everything is happening on the smart contract. Like the money that is there is being stored inside the smart contract. So smart contract auditing requires extremely deep expertise and a lot of money to just get itself audited. So, for example, if you take out a flash loan or you insert money in staking, if there is a small bug inside the smart contract, everything will just blow up, right? So keeping in mind, if the platform is right, like platforms like Aave, CRV, or any other platforms which even does swaps, right? So keeping in mind that they are very genuine, and looking at their developer docs that are there, I think I would go with that rather than just platforms which are like faking APYs and the TLVs that are there. So yeah, that's like my
yeah.
2 cents
This is
into it.
this is one of those things that people really hesitate while they go, or whenever there's a decision to make on the financial side. If they don't have this 100% trust on any kind of a bank. You
Hmm.
talking about the central bank, right? You would also prefer
Yeah.
that. If you are not having a good vibe with that bank, you won't prefer it. So how can you trust something that has no regulation whatsoever? So
Oh,
uh, the awareness part really comes into it, and again, it's all about the understanding you have. Most of the people defied that Bitcoin won't work. Now see where it is. So it's basically how the way you adapt things in the coming future. I don't totally agree with what you said, Ayush.
yeah. So I think
Yeah.
it's all depends on what platform you kind of trust, rather than just other platforms just faking out those APYs and boasting out those numbers. So yeah, that's my a bit take on it. And I think there are different platforms that are there, which like Aave, like yeah, I mean it started. CRV and Aave were there, which started like the D5 revolution that is there. So I think yeah, those are some platforms which are believed, which are trusted, and I think you can go with that. But again, then there comes a point of those platforms are a bit complex to use. Then you look at those substitutions of it, like exchanges like Vault, Pillow Fund, then the Flint Money. Those are coming up with a much better UI, like how CoinSwitch also has, like it's just one single tap, like how you food from Swiggy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
uh,
Yeah.
like rather than people taking time to understand things rather than just one swipe, I think those are certain platforms. I mean, that's just my take on it. Like if people want to just go directly jump into the DeFi, then they should start with simpler platforms that are there.
For
Aaron
sure.
wants to say something. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, Aryan, by go. I think you're trying to say, but you're not audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So, Ranva, you can ask the same question. I think we can have this question and then we can wrap it up. It's been like one and a half hour. Uh, so
I think Sanket wants to say something. We can hear
Hey,
from him.
yeah, just continuing on that topic of trusting which platform, right? So, I have an interesting story there. So we have these exchanges, right? So these exchanges are basically holding our tokens, and you have these DeFi apps where you are holding your tokens, right? So what happened was I thought, okay, maybe the exchange can freeze my funds. So it's actually safer on the DeFi platform. So I moved it. Which token? It was like a Solana token. So I actually moved it to the Solana chain, and I thought, okay, it's safer there. See, nobody can confiscate it. All that can't be censored. All that. But then the Solana chain itself crashed for like one or 2 days. So I was like, oh man, actually the Indian exchange would be safe. Just it would be safer to keep it in the Indian exchange itself. I can trade it anytime instead of moving to the chain. So I think it's still so early, and yeah, it's like you still can't trust any of these, and you need a long history and some regulations before you can really trust them.
yeah. Aryan, by go ahead.
Am I audible now? Finally.
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. So basically, how I see DeFi is, I started with Aave, and the basic fault I used to like, uh, rightly pointed out. People are not. It's complex. People are not understanding it, and if you see DeFi from a broader picture, especially from the lending side, I feel price is what's going to attract people from traditional banking to DeFi. If they can master price, because essentially DeFi is all about removing the middleman, and if you're able to do it, like if you're able to manage price well, uh, ultimately people are going to shift. How I feel that's going to happen is new banks only providing DeFi services. Okay, new banks trying to inculcate things and providing them. Obviously, they'll not be able to take cuts. They'll it's more like something like UPI, something like that is going to happen to make it more mainstream. NFTs have been mainstream for a while, and I loved how they made it mainstream. It's perfect. DeFi can play on price वाला war खेल सकता है, and
Price as in, bro, like price for the user, the cost of
yeah.
like
So,
that.
so basically, if you take a loan, business say you have to give it to a bank now. The middleman is always there. So if you're able to solve for that, middleman is gone. You have cheaper loans. Something like that is actually going to make it uh, extremely uh, universal. And again, like that's what is going to promote adoption of DeFi.
Yeah, bro. I also think that. Yeah, we have go win next. Yeah, go ahead. Hi.
Hi, Jaskirat. Hi, Aryan. And I'm late to this. I'm really sorry, but interesting conversation. And I'll just stick to the latest point that we were discussing. trusting systems and trusting blockchains. And it's too early. Yes, this is too early. There's no doubt about it. And who to trust, we don't have a right answer or a wrong answer right now. But I'll tell you what is happening is the word DeFi, decentralized finance, is not totally decentralized, because what we are talking about, a very famous term is coming into picture, which is being mentioned a lot of times, which we called as progressive decentralization. Now, by progressive decentralization means, first of all, these tokens of holders, they first of all they launch the token. A major amount of these tokens are with these people. They are the influencers. They are probably the one who are making decision in terms of DAOs also. But then they distribute it to the normal public going onwards. And so still these projects are very in very early stage, and it's not totally decentralized. And if you ask me honestly, there's a cycle. First, you go from centralized, you see flaw in centralized systems, you go to DeFi, decentralized system. Then you see flaws in decentralized system, and then you go and ask for centralized systems. So I guess this will be a thing in our economy, not even now, but even if we go ahead 200 years, one forms the other forms this one. So I guess that was my limited point. So this will be an
Yeah.
evolution.
Yeah,
Thank you
I,
so
I,
much.
I really want Snacks and Gaurang's perspective
Yeah,
on
yeah.
this.
I was going to Gaurang. Hi, Gaurang.
Hey guys, how are you? Yeah, future of money, DeFi, right? Just my experience, I can say that very firstly, we need to understand that DeFi isn't cheap, right? It is expensive for sure, right? In terms of when it comes to, I see Aave, people were talking about lending platforms like Aave and all, right? Right. And also in terms of security, right? DeFi is not only restricted in terms of understanding just from the lending part, but also in terms of yield farming and other things as well. And all of these are built up on smart contracts. So, I mean, in terms of you need to always cross check whichever the platforms they are, who are the backers, right? Not only going through these influencers and who are shilling the projects, right? Apart from that, I mean, people are talking about the safety, right? What I have realized now is it's always good to start using a ledger, right? Move all your tokens to a ledger and then always connect all these protocols via a ledger. In a way where you can have a I can't say 100% security, but kind of a 95% of security is always there, right? And that is how something it's gonna move. And apart from that, like the wave of, I mean, I have seen the wave of yield farming going up and up, right? Starting from January 2021, right, where the APYs went up to 5,000%, 7,000%, and then which has gradually reduced. I mean, the flow happens, and then there are certain protocols like Olympus DAO and all, which eventually sound as a big APY or APRs as well, which eventually got reduced recently, right? I mean, you need to understand when to get into the market, when to move out, right? Yesterday, I was discussing with a friend as well that, he was telling me, Gorang, pull out all your tokens, right? The market is going to fall. Again, none of the financial advisors I'm giving. We were just discussing on understanding how market is working as well, right? And he was like, Gorang, pull out all your tokens right now, because if you see the market is going to fall and all of it. And that's where I was like, why should I pull out? I should hold rather. And then he told me that holding, as an investor, like holding tokens is not only the one thing, but also you need to understand, you need to know or learn when to pull out and when to pull in back. So these are the few things which I wanted to share. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, Vivin, do you have a point? Like, go ahead.
Yeah,
Hi.
yeah. So I'm curious, right? Because see, the whole idea of all of this is to get more users, and I don't understand why all of these products are super complex, right? Let's say an Aave. I haven't used Flint money yet, but anyone has access to it. Do you guys think it's easy?
Guys, the best
Easy to
way
use?
to learn DeFi is just go on rabbithole.gg, right? Start from the basics of understanding swapping, adding liquidities, and all of these. Complete all those tasks, right? And you also get rewarded, right? Once you clear all of that, that's the best way to learn how DeFi works. And eventually once you understand one protocol and once you practice on one or two protocols, the other protocols are simpler and easier to understand.
Hey, thanks, man. That's super helpful.
Yeah, and I have used everything under the sun. If you want to ask me anything, it's, okay. So your question was is it easy, right? I feel like there's like initial learning curve, but it's like 1 or 2 days, like you mentioned, right? You just use 1 or 2 protocols, and then rest is it just feels very similar.
No, no, I'm not asking is it easy or not. I'm just not able to understand why the whole thing has to be so complex.
In a way, I'll tell you, Vibin, just to add a point, right? So I'll tell you, I started DeFi in December 2020. Initially, for me as well, it was complex in terms of understanding each and every protocol of, okay, you need to approve these tokens, you need to stake them, you need to get back the rewards, you need to lock the tokens for a certain period of time to get a higher APY and all of that, right? Probably it's just a learning curve from moving as we have been using all the Web2 products which are there and then moving to a Web3. Initially, yes, it does look complex, but once you start aping into things and start understanding why this is meant in this way, I'll tell you there's a lending platform called as InstantApp, right? And what I got to know about InstantApp is that it is only meant for whales who are part of it. I mean, it is so complex. It took me 2 months to understand the whole platform, right? Now it has been integrated with Aave, where you can put your you can lend your tokens on Aave, and then you can move what do you say the sorry, I forgot the terminology, but you can just move whatever the positions you have in Aave to InstantApp as well, right? So in that way, so once you keep on start understanding each and every protocol and see what they are doing, why it is meant to be, I mean that would be much easier for you to get on it. I mean, if today you share me any protocol, I can just quickly say that okay, this does this, because it took me time as well, and for me as well, try and also you know use all the blockchains like being Ethereum, Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, Solana, Tezos, Terra. Right. Once you use all the blockchains, right, you'll get a nag of all of the things, and that would be an easy curve for you.
Hey guys, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're
Okay, just want to say thank you to Jaskirat for opening up this Twitter space today. I'm from America, Houston, Texas. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning over here. No, I love Indians. I've been to India, Bombay, New Delhi, Agra. Very beautiful country. Love the history. Yeah, DeFi, man, it's booming in America right now. I took some courses at it at Harvard. It's booming right now. It's still new, so I know some people might have questions. If you do, you can reach out to me, and I can try to answer as much as I can. Just like what our friend was saying earlier. I would encourage you guys to do some, watch some YouTube videos and just try to experiment as much as you can with, each I guess service or transaction. Agave is very good. Another one is BlockFi. BlockFi is very good DeFi company you guys can look into. I have a colleague. He works at BlockFi. If you want, maybe one day I can talk to just Karit, and maybe we can open a Twitter space and I can invite him. And then if you guys have any
for
questions, you
sure, man,
can
for sure.
you can, no problem. You guys can. We're actually having an event. I'm going to have an event next week Monday, but it's going to be it's an in-person event in person, but I'll speak to him and see if we can do one online for our Indian friends, and just kind of educate you guys, and have you learn. But don't worry, don't stress out, because it's still new here in America. So you guys are ahead of your curve. Like everybody in this room, you guys are way ahead of the world right now, because you guys are learning it. But yes, like Vibin said, it can be complicated sometimes, but as long as we continue to just try to learn about it, and day by day, man, you guys will be way ahead of the curve. I think Mark Cuban, he's the one who invested in Agave. And so, like I said, it's still new. It's,
Uh,
it's new here in America. So, just continue
it's
to learn.
Ave.
I'm sorry,
It's
Ave. I'm sorry. But
agave is
continue to
good
learn.
though.
Just continue to learn, And I was thinking agave. I was thinking the honey
The
agave.
sweetener. It's good. It's
Yeah,
a good
sweetener.
sweetener.
My bad. But yeah, just continue to learn. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can ask. And I have a museum in the metaverse. If you guys, anybody that wants to, have NFTs you want to host, we'll do it for free, just to kind of help promote. I want to, I'm very positive as far as this NFT space, and I really believe in it. But thank you guys for this Twitter space, man. I love it. I love the way you guys are
And
engaging.
one of the amazing things about DeFi is that there are services like BlockFi, which I used to use a lot, but their rates are so bad now. They went down and they charge you to withdraw. But what's so amazing about DeFi is that if you're experimenting on these new chains with these new DeFi platforms, you can get better yields than the centralized services that offer convenience.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It doesn't even make sense to do it in CFI no more. The only I guess CFI will make sense because security it's been here for so long. So we trust the system. But once you understand the system, then DeFi makes more sense. You actually lose money with CFI. It just the learning process, the learning curve is the most important thing right now.
Can I
And
ask a
also just to
question
add,
to Yeah, just a quick question to Snacks because I believe he runs a DAO, right? So, how do you make a DAO decentralized from the very beginning? Like, how can we do that?
I think it's really hard. There are a lot of tools. Like I don't think my DAO is decentralized. Like our DAO, Pizza DAO, it's we do our best, but it's not decentralized. And I don't think most DAOs are. But to get to the point where a DAO is decentralized, I think it's about having a really clear mission statement. It's about having extreme transparency of everything that you're doing, and it's about having a very clear bounty program by which tasks that need to be done for the DAO are posted and paid, and people are selected. Bounty hunters are selected to perform the task because there is one problem with bounties, which is that you don't want multiple people to do the work and then only pay one. Right, that's bad for all the people who did the work and didn't get paid. So you should select the bounty hunter and then pay them out. But there are many tools that people are working on, and I don't think our industry has settled on which ones are the best. So it is a time of experimentation and learning.
I'd love
yeah,
to add to that, if I might.
yeah, go
Hi,
ahead, go ahead.
Tatiana in the red. What's up, man? Which is also that I think as like identity coins start to take shape and we start to be able to do some form of KYC across blockchains in general, which I think is going to be huge for 2022. We look at gaming, we look at DAOs, which I think, goes without saying, we're going to see a lot more action in 2022. But I think a big thing is identity. And so, to have something be decentralized, it's also avoiding having centralized power or having too many people have too much of a vote, for example, or too much control. And so you could have, for example, several wallets sign up to the same DAO, and it could be the same person just signing up to kind of have control. But as who was just speaking? I saw your picture.
It's me.
Snacks. There
Snacks.
we go. What's up, Snacks? So, as Snacks was saying, down to the rules, down to how everything's divvied up, down to the jobs, and then also, kind of across the board, because some DAOs aren't as organized and they can just be memberships. But I think having an identity attached to each wallet and each member of the DAO as well can enable the DAOs to basically be organized and for the rules to also be followed if there aren't tasks or roles. So I think that that's another thing we see a lot more of in 2022. And for anyone, building a DAO, I'd definitely recommend looking into that too, because there are identity coins that exist and a bit of KYC for the members of the DAO too.
And I think it's very much a process of working backward from the end of DAO. You have to get organized first so that you have a chance to be autonomous, so that you have a chance to be decentralized. And I think it very much
Exactly.
works in that order. The idea of sub DAOs is really powerful because you don't have to risk your whole treasury. As a DAO, you can say, okay, we have this squad and they're going to work on this task, and we're going to give them this amount of capital in their own voting organization, and they can pursue that task. And that can be a lot safer if you're worried about the whole DAO's treasury being open to exploitation.
And also to just to add to that point, right, in terms of learning about DAOs and all of it, this is the way I have learned, right. It's the very first thing is you be a part of a DAO, and the one of the DAOs which I see very organized is Friends with Benefits and Bankless. They are so organized in a way, and this is how the reason I could learn is because I'm part of the DAO and been contributing in a way which doing my part and understanding how things are working on that side, right? I mean, DAO is a term which has been, used. I mean, nowadays it's been used very vaguely, but trying to understand that not many people understand this, that Ethereum is a DAO, Uniswap is a DAO, right? See, I mean, go and look at these platforms and the ways they have been building up, right? I mean, one of the biggest DAOs I know, and the way it has been done is Uniswap. Like, in terms of coming into their governance, 2020 was the year where Uniswap did their governance, and eventually people started supporting it, and even with the founders as well. The way they have, I mean, how do you say it? Structured it in a very great manner, right? I mean, people are not looking at that, and then they are just randomly looking at the other DAOs as well. So there are really structured DAOs. Once make sure that be a part of a DAO. That's where you get to know how a DAO actually works.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
you
much.
can join the DAO. That's kind of a sign of a DAO is if you can join their community and immediately find ways to make yourself useful.
Yeah, go ahead. I think we will take the
starting up a wing for the cryptos and started educating the Indian community. That is a great good things. Myself, Gopal, I've been working in the industry since like 6 years now. Been started mining with Ethereum when it was $8. Just recently, even I've been interviewed by them for the team lead position for the Ethereum Foundation, and I will work with like lot many projects, lot many altcoin projects definitely, and I've been into all of this trend cycle, which is going since a long time, like with ICOs, then the new era with the Defi, then the NFT, now Web3, DAO, then the tomorrow will be the Parachains. In 2022, we will see lot many updates with the roll up, lot many zero guess altcoins will come up. So new trend will be there with the synth, with the even a great availability of the data. So yep, DA will be the thing, and even a synthetic asset. So what I would like to suggest everyone when we are talking about a DAO is definitely if you're trying to create a DAO, then please try to make it more transparent, more better way that you don't control the tokenomics for the team only or the viewer. So he's trying to vote, could a vote even if it's a community member who is loving the project. So what I'm saying is, do not build it on a poor centralized blockchain. Try to build it with the only great decentralized blockchain, which is a proven blockchain. Apart from it, again, DAO is just a centralized community, which could allow some users to vote and run with that. But real thing is, what kind of solutions they are bringing with the DAO, what kind of services they are inventing, and what are they are trying to build. So yep, I would suggest that go on a good decentralized blockchain with your DAO. Later part, I guess we are late, so yep, definitely I will wrap up with that. But happy to talk again with everyone. Thank you.
yeah,
Gopal,
thank
very
you both.
quickly, just get एक
Yeah,
second बस.
yeah, go ahead.
Gopal, can you just mention any DAO that you like and is working on the concept that you just mentioned? I would love to check it out.
Definitely, for my personal view sense, I must say that once we have a good side change for the Bitcoin or just a new update with the Taproot, I will start making up a DAO on a Bitcoin blockchain because that is the only decentralized blockchain in my view sense.
How about the existing ones? Any DAOs you look up to?
Obviously, the Bang DAO, as you said, Gaurang, definitely that is the one of the greatest one, which is great community is trying to make sense with it. But first first thing is like, like Govind ask, would you build a DAO, but where is the purpose for it? I don't have any purpose to build a DAO right now. If I'm building a centralized community, I'm not bringing up any solutions. So like Bank DAO is trying to bring a lot many solutions with the JK snark and new technology with the Stark snark. Definitely it is going to go, do the better part with the Ethereum blockchain in the coming days. Whatever the side chains is trying to do it, everything will eventually end up on Ethereum, because that's what Starkware is doing, and that's where next flow will be there, or next trend will be there going on. So in a sense, please, if even if you are trying to join every other DAO, or try to just get a pre-minted coin, then do not end up with losing on a good next generation tech or next trend. DAO is there, but definitely you should look up to the cross chains or para chains modules, like what new chains is bringing up, new side chains which will come up with the new solutions, and which is going to attract the lot many on-chain cryptos. So whatever the projects you are seeing, whatever the DAO is going to do great, is the one which has a lot many pre-minted coin with the team itself. So Bank DAO has a great Ethereum team behind it. So definitely they hold a larger part of money in this ecosystem. So on-chain flow will go behind it. You should track it like in a way, or you should. So yep, definitely Gaurav. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yeah,
May I
yeah,
add
thank you very
something
much.
to that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
go on. Go on.
I was loving that as well, Gopal, in the sense that, I also think that I've seen a few people just be like, oh, Web3, they're at companies, they're like, we should start a DAO, we should be a DAO. But there's not really much thought behind it. And so there's two things I think about when anyone's building a DAO, which is a mix between Snacks, Thoughts, and Gopal's, which is, firstly, obviously, actually think about the chain. I think there's so much amazing tech coming out. And one thing I do want to say that I think gets a bit underrated sometimes is the immutability on Ethereum. And a small example of this is when Solana went down. If anyone was, invested in Solana, maybe that the chain went down, and it's had a few pauses, over the last few months. And this is actually huge, because they restored, I think it was in August or September, they restored from a snapshot, which is huge and doesn't really get talked about much. But essentially, anything before that snapshot gets erased. So if you had a DAO, if you have NFTs, and a whole chain restores from a snapshot that happens after your blocks or your Genesis NFT blocks or whatever it is, at that point you actually lose the information. It no longer exists, everything you've built. So one thing I want to say is, do bear in mind that the chains that you're picking, like Ethereum, there's a reason that NFTs are still strongly hosted on Ethereum. Now we know that community loves the projects and it's just exciting and it's Ethereum and it's sexy. We hate gas fees. But the other tech, which I love, Elrond, for example, but I also want Elrond to proof NFTs and DAOs and organizations through their chain to make sure that the immutability is solid. And so that's one thing when thinking about building anything on any blockchains, also picking the chain and understanding that the immutability is there, if that makes sense. I don't know how many newbies there may be in here. And then the second point is also, once you have that down and you go, right, this is solid. Like Ethereum may have high gas fees, but they are so road tested that shit lasts on Ethereum. If you've bought an NFT on Ethereum, I'm pretty comfortable in saying it's going to be there for a while. If you bought an NFT on Solana 8 months ago, you might be like, oh, I don't know. Is it there? Is it not? We're not sure. And I also invested in Solana. I like Solana a lot. I think they're fast, scalability. I prefer Elrond, yada, yada. There are other things, but there's a lot of great tech out there. And I would also look at the teams, look at the setups, look at the chains. And then, at that point, have a real roadmap and a plan. It can be a trend of let's just start a DAO and get members. But I really think it's important to have the plan, who has what votes, who has what powers, a complete full, if you would, business plan of your DAO and how it'll retain its decentralization, for example, and its longevity. Because I think no one wants to get halfway through a DAO and be like, shit, we didn't think this one through. So anyway, just some of my thoughts.
Also, a
Thank
lot of these chains that you mentioned are very interested in people building on them, and they will help you. So you can reach
Absolutely.
out. Yeah, reach out to the chain. Reach out to Harmony, Polygon, Elrond, Solana, no, like all of them, and and you could even just go with the one who supports you at a certain point.
Yes, definitely. The way you said they support you, that means that they will ultimately transfer their own chain coins to your DAO. So they will be in a control of it and eventually give you the fake market cap and you will do the great with the DAO. So what I try to make sense is, yep, Stadian, I'm definitely agreed with you that, more immutable is Ethereum and gas is a problem today. Tomorrow it won't be. But how user or how retailers should look at it is just a trend, is just a simple trend, and you should go along with the trend to try to flip it, try to make a money, nothing else. If even if you try to build a DAO today, it is too late now. Try to go and build the next trend. So that's what I'm saying. So you have seen a, tokenization of art with the NFT, tokenization of a music, some 30 industry being covered by the NFTs. So tomorrow there will be the great ticket platform which will provide you a great ticket project. So that will do the great, some intellectual property rights, some real estate rights, so lot many shit will be, tokenized with the NFTs. So now whatever the market size of the NFT is $500 billion, some hardly some $1 trillion, right? Not more than that. So if you go and check about the DAO, then it will cover a larger pact of it. If you go and check about the Defi, then it is even eventually controlling or having a larger market cap or market share to cover with the banks, or with providing a yield and farming a good aping to the people, right? So what I'm saying is, go behind the next projects, next trend. It will give you the great opportunity to build the next great things which will be the trend for the next year. Otherwise you will be left behind. Go behind the trend like a synthetic assets where stock is going to be tokenized. Go behind the next project of the DA, that there will be a huge many bigger projects will be, yeah, yeah, Aryan. So yeah, definitely, I must say everyone that try to, go after the trends, not the current tax or whatever the side chains is trying to do. Other side chains will come up with the trend. So अभी NFT बहुत सारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे आ गया, बहुत सारे ब्लॉकचेन पे आ गया, तो next blockchain will try to do it. So FTM has not a NFT integration, they will do it. FTM has not a DeFi integration, they will do it. They will try to give API and a lot many yielding to the people. Tezos not have not done it, they will do it. Luna has not done it, everyone will do it. So that's what the trend does. The next trend will be like, so what happened is, I've been a huge part of the NFT space since like 2 years now. So greatly, if I really tell you in short, then whatever the best NFT you see today is the ape, right? What ape is? It is just a 50x from its real price. 50x, guys. If you are old enough, 3 years, 4 years, any project could do the 50x. There is no huge value. With their market makers, with their insider teams, they can do the easily 20x, 30x inside, and then they can do other 20x with the great huge marketing around it. 50x is nothing for the project. So it started minting at the 0.08, but yep, after the good market making, they have, so we have a lot many things. So please don't try to, go behind the trend on a larger scale. Do not mint everything you see. It is not hugely like empowered, it is not hugely regulated yet. Once the KYC will be done, then art will be the out of the market. Whatever the sense you are making with art, look at the history of the art. It is just a way to wash your money. So ultimately today they are washing the money with the like a digital NFTs. I am a part of NFTs. I have bought like hundreds of them, but that is just to make my rule and make more Bitcoin. So eventually I can fight along with the exchanges whosoever is selling us other altcoins on the name of a Bitcoin. They are like charging a $1 million to list a coin on a Binance. So वजीरेक्स 1 करोड़ चार्ज करता है कॉइन लिस्ट करने का. So these all are the things people need to understand, that this is just a trend. So once the trends came out, eventually all the exchanges will follow up. So what happened is, in the last January, NFT were coming up. So in a between of that, Binance has already announced that they are going to launch up the NFT marketplace. Then Huobi did it, then KuCoin did it, then all the other exchanges will follow up that trend, and it will take a year. And meanwhile it take a years, all of those on-chain coins they are holding, those pre-minted coins, they will pour on all of these trendy coins or trendy projects. So that's how they are creating a market cap. If they will sell those coins in open market, nobody will pay the price, and they will lose the price of those pre-minted coins, be it a Binance, be it even Ethereum. So yep, please try to understand all of these things, then go and pour your hard-earned money on all of this market. Otherwise you will be lost. You will be literally, like, I have seen 2 cycles, and I have seen hundreds of people dying with the Dodge. Like literally 5 इंडियन ने सुसाइड कर लिया था डॉज कॉइन, जस्ट बिकॉज इवन हैज like said it. So please मैं सबको ये प्लेटफॉर्म से the last sentence I would be try to tell everyone is कि प्लीज आप लोग मीम कॉइन के पीछे मत जाइए. 100 में से सिर्फ एक ही बंदा होगा जो शिप में पैसा कमाएगा. बाकी 99 लोग विल डाई. 5 इंडियन मर गए थे सुसाइड करके लास्ट ईयर. गो एंड रीड अबाउट इट. डोंट गो बिहाइंड द मीम कॉइन्स. यू विल लूज एवरीथिंग गाइस. इंडियन स्पेशली मत जाइए मीम कॉइन के पीछे. आप लोग मर जाएंगे. ये साइड चेन्स भी है ना सारे, ये जितना भी ट्रेंड है ना आपको नहीं समझ में आएगा. डोंट ट्राई टू इन्वेस्ट योर हार्ड एंड मनी. डोंट डू द ट्रेडिंग, स्पेशली नॉट द फ्यूचर ट्रेडिंग. दिस इज नॉट अ स्टॉक मार्केट. You are not even understanding it. You don't have any idea about how this market works guys. So please don't invest or don't try to make sense that I have a stock market knowledge and I will be able to trade with it. You don't have any idea how on-chain analysis is going up. So 10 साल पुराने स्टॉक वाले आके दे लाइक गो अगेंस्ट मी एंड टेल मी कि है तो यू विल टॉक विथ अस ऑन द चार्ट. यार वो चार्ट कैसे बनता है वो भी आपको नहीं पता है. हाउ दोस कॉइन इज मूविंग वो भी आपको नहीं पता है. आप ऐसा सोच रहे हो कि अदानी का कॉइन रिलायंस पे डिपेंड कर रहा है और आप रिलायंस को देख ही नहीं रहे हो. सो होल मार्केट डिपेंड्स ऑन अ बिटकॉइन और वेयर बिटकॉइन गेन्स that you are not seeing. So please, every Indians, do not go behind all of this. Stake the sets slowly with DCA. Buy Bitcoin. Eventually, you will run against all of it because Bitcoin has a larger market to share, a larger market to serve. इतनी सारी कंट्री है, इतने सारे लोग हैं ना, और सिर्फ 21 मिलियन बिटकॉइन है और वर्ल्ड में 80 मिलियन मिलेनियर्स है. कितने 80 मिलियन मिलेनियर्स और सिर्फ 21 मिलियन बिटकॉइन है. आधा भी नहीं ले पाएंगे वो लोग. इफ यू कैन स्टेक द आधा बिटकॉइन यू आर ग्रेट गाय. गुड लक टू ऑल ऑफ यू. थैंक यू सो मच. जय हिंद.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
thanks,
Gopal.
Gopal. Like very, very nice. Yeah,
Yeah, Aryan,
Tatiana.
bhai, you wanted to give some any remarks?
Yeah. Uh, like just before we end, Tatiana, you wanted to speak?
Oh, that's very kind of you. I didn't want to interrupt you though. Would you like me to chuck in? Do you mind?
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. I just wanted to say, Gopal, I love those thoughts too. I mean, I'm in Web3. I'm actually a musician, record producer who happened to be in Web3 too. And now I actually head up a Web3 division at my tech company, in addition to also doing music. But in between that, I wanted to help artists and help people get into blockchain. I started a TikTok to just help educate people. If anyone's interested, it's TDM Crypto on TikTok. But the point is, that in that, as my audience grew, I found it really interesting because crypto seems very exciting, and Gopal made some very, very interesting points, which is that as a person who has a profile on TikTok with whatever, like 70,000 people, I get a lot of chains, a lot of DeFi projects, a lot of coins, a lot of NFT projects approaching me, and you see who is paying for marketing, who is drumming up the hype. Now, I never do shit coins. I don't really partner with many projects at all, only the ones I believe in that I think are exciting, because that's not my job. I have other jobs. I make a nice living, touch wood, but I just want to help educate people. But a look behind the scenes on how the FOMO is actually generated, how it's so easy to feel like you're missing out because of what people are talking about, and really taking the time to actually do some research on any project and have a cool mind and remember that there are going to be many opportunities. People were FOMOing 2 months ago at the peak. We were at all-time highs and people were like, I have to get in, I have to get in, quick, this is a trend, this is a trend. And now look, we have a great entry point, which is much better than it was in November. So just to
It
say,
was
there will
$80. It was just $80 before a year and a half. Even Ethereum.
exactly.
Everything was below a dollar. Everything was below a dollar. If you are building a Web3, the first guy we should look after is a Jack Dorsey, the guy who has built a best Web2 product on which we are talking right now. And people are like going against them. So this is the nonsense, right? So Web3 is whatever Jack is building. It's not the VCs are trying to build on a poor side chains. But yep, you are right, Tanya. Go ahead, yeah.
Thanks.
I have a okay. After you, I'll go. Yeah.
Sorry, mate. It was really just to conclude that there's going to be hype around every single sector, and just bear in mind, if a lot of people I'm hearing, because I see a lot of comments and I see a lot of people going, "What's the next thing? What's the next thing?" And the way I found joy and actually investing in growth is, again, slow investing in projects that may have long term. Frankly, when the market takes a huge dip, it doesn't affect me. When the market goes crazy up, it doesn't affect me. As in, I'm happy it goes up, but it's to always put ourselves in a position to understand that this is tech that's going to keep improving long term. There are going to be more trends. There will always be opportunities to make money. There are always going to be entry points. If you miss it today, don't worry. We'll have another crash in fucking 3 months, or a crash, or whatever it is. It's a volatile market, and volatility is good for making money. But DAOs is a trend, DeFi is a trend, NFTs as a trend. They're actually going to find their way into society, and it's about long-term disruption and long-term utility for people. If NFTs are just art now and it's just washing money, cool. But if we think about how can NFTs actually help make people's lives better, then we're starting to think like Uber. How can we make transport better? So there's so much innovation to happen in all of these spaces that I think it's such good advice from Gopal to resist the urge to go on a trend and try and stay calm and go, what can I build that is actually of value, that utilizes this tech, and what is the strongest platform, whether it's NFTs, DAOs, or DeFi. That's all. But thank you very much, and thanks,
Yeah.
Aryan.
I strongly disagree to a lot of points, and I'll share my disagreement. The point when we said this is a trend, that means we believe that it will pass, right? And I guess, yes, NFTs, if you're speculating on NFTs or any coins that they'll go and, you'll make money out of it, that's bad. And I'm not talking about that. But NFTs are here to stay. Blockchain solutions are here to stay. And the thing is, like what you said about Uber building solutions on blockchain and building solutions on NFTs, we will only evolve from here, like how we evolved on our electric cars, motor cars. Right now, today, after 50 years, 100 years, we have better cars. Same will happen with this technology. We will evolve. This is not a passing trend, but this is here to stay. Yes, speculation is wrong. Spending money on meme coins just to make money and or a quick buck, is something that I won't recommend. But learning today what blockchain can do and how problem that can be solved through blockchain. So I guess it's just here to stay. We should not call it a. So yeah, back to you.
Sorry, I actually think I agree with you. I actually think we're saying the same thing in that what we're saying is if you jump on a meme coin, I mean, everyone can have a meme bag. Even I had some fucking Doge a long time ago, made money on it. Great. But I think the main thing is the tech is here to stay. 100% agreed. And I think we're all, I have an entire business on Web3, so I'm banking hard on Web3 and all of it. But I think what I mean is that some people who are not in Web3 yet, and companies are going, we should build a DAO because DAOs are popular, or we should make NFTs because they're popular. Quick, put 10 pictures together and sell it. Now, great if you make money, but I'm talking about the people buying in. It's just pay attention to what you buy into, because everything is so new, that everything is so exciting. It's very easy to get caught up in projects that don't actually have any substance. And because there are going to be so many projects with actual substance over time, there's going to be many opportunities because the tech isn't going anywhere and because it's only going to keep evolving. There's no need to rush into the first project if you just feel you're forcing it because you think you have to do it because everyone else is to make money. It's okay. There will be opportunities, and substantial real ones that may stand the test of time as well. So I think we're all definitely in agreement on that, and that NFTs are not a trend. I have a whole video on why NFTs are here to stay. And I agree with you. They're going to cross every single industry. It's as everything moves to digital, we need a way to authenticate it. So, it's here to stay. And I agree with that 100%. But also, I'm going to do a video. I'm posting a video on how to do research, because I think everyone says do your research, and it's actually very hard for newbies to understand how to do that. So I'm going to post that on my TikTok in the next few days.
Make sure to post.
But great thoughts.
Make sure to post on Twitter as well, because we don't have TikTok in India. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, damn. Okay, will do. I'll do that. Nice.
Yeah, if you're gonna buy into anything, buy into yourself, learning skills and building community and friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. By the way, do you?
Yes. Yeah. Last question to the Govind. Govind, where does the NFT is being stored right now?
On the blockchain, right?
No, bro. whatever the NFT is being stored, it is stored on a server, and then they just connect the metadata of that image on the blockchain. So it's not on-chain NFTs even. It is stored on a IPFS. It is stored on a personal servers. So just to make it, tag of a decentralized, now they have started storing it on a Filecoin or a Golem coin or any other decentralized databases. They are saying so. It is not even a decentralized NFTs. I'm not against the NFTs. I really love the whatever the solution with the decentralized blockchain we are building today and we are going to build tomorrow. I want कि मेरा दोस्त जो आर्टिस्ट है उसको NFT के थ्रू पैसे मिले, उसका आर्ट फेमस होवे. I really want to do it, but please like try to understand it's not yet decentralized. It's not yet completely decentralized. It is being stored on a poor servers. मेरे घर के कंप्यूटर में NFT रखे हुए हैं, वही NFT प्रोजेक्ट है, वो ऊपर पड़ा है, मैं उसके अंदर
Gopal,
चेंज
we
कर
were
सकता
we were talking about this. So when I guess you joined late, a bit late, but I was
Yeah, yeah.
mentioning a point about progressive decentralization. I also asked Snacks this question: how is his, the DAO decentralized? But I imagine this situation 50 years back, 1950, right? We had these cars, and just to drive that car, you needed a lot of petrol or whatever, petroleum you had back then, and it was not fuel efficient. We had this problem of like we thought this is a limited resource with us and it will deplete very soon. How to find more fuel? We were struggling to find. We did not find a lot of fuel resources, but what we find out was we find out ways to make it more fuel efficient. Now our cars are like 1000x more fuel efficient. I know today's solutions are not perfect for the what the dream of web3 is for us, but this is just the start. 5 years from now we'll fix the problems that we have today. 10 years from now you'll just look back at these problems and you'll laugh, okay, that this was also a stage of web3. But we will only evolve and we'll have better solutions, but this is the way to go. Why I said the technology is to here, is here to stay, because this will create real world solutions, and I can't believe when we term this as trends. Yes, there are projects which are not 100% fit. Even Twitter was not 100% when it launched. So today what you are seeing is like probably the 1000x version of Twitter, right? So that's my point.
Yeah. Yeah, Aryan bhai,
Happens in
you want to
traditional
make
finance,
the
and this is, I
last
guess,
remark, and
logical
then
as well.
probably we can wrap it up.
But
X or any swap, any place, right? Just go and
To happen to make it more
Went online
I
for
think
It's
he's gone. He missed.
decentralized, and I think it very much
Exactly.
works.
Yes, the last bye bye guys. Thank you, just thank you, Aryan. If anyone would like to, share the community with anything, I would be happy to join, and I will be happy to talk with your community and to share good things about the blockchain industry. I've been doing meetup seminars and the webinars in the industries, in the universities, and a lot many other places since 2017. Will help a lot. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead, Aryan bhai.
Yeah, so like my learning curve on everything which is happening in the future of our money and assets and whatever will store our value is really strong today, like 1000x. So thanks for everyone for joining. There's one thing I want to say that to most of us, things are pretty new and a lot of bouncers here today. So if you're actually if you think that you could not understand a lot of this stuff, we're gonna host a lot more. Jaskirat is going to do this every week. Future of Money Space will be a every week thing. But more importantly, we're going to have topics, specific topics. We're going to pick up DeFi, deconstruct it, very fundamentally, making you understand, helping you in every way. Even things are new for me, so learning every day. That's how things will be. And the best part of this crypto world, everything together, is that it's all about community and peer-to-peer learning. We're all learning from each other. That's the best part. So like this this plan with FinFlow and Jaskirat was amazing. So FinFlow is basically my company. Is on a mission to educate people around every kind of asset, helping people make better choices. around every asset, be it stocks, NFTs, cryptos, whatever. So, so basically, it's all about education right now. We are going to do a lot of threads, a lot of things on Instagram lives as well. Twitter Spaces, a lot more Twitter Spaces. Calling in experts like you. Thanks, Gopal, Snacks, even Life of Musk. I don't know your name. I want to know your name. Tatiana, we're gonna have you all guys also like have specific topics as well. This is just a start, and really like whoever wants to learn more, just send us topics on this finflow account. We really pick up every topic you want from us. We recently did some threads on DAOs. Like people don't have basic understanding of a DAO, how does this function, whatever. Basic understanding of NFTs. Fundamentally we have a very different way of explaining things. We're not a kind of an ed tech or something, but yeah, still just trying to help educate people, uh, and yeah, learning along with that. So yeah, thanks for joining, guys. Super helpful this video.
Yeah, thank you, like speaker, to give you like I personally learned a lot. I hope like each one of listener also learned a lot. Thank you, listeners, for being stick to it for almost more than 2 hours now. Uh, you can follow us, follow the co-host, follow host and FinFlow account. So we will keep hosting spaces like this like every week. Yeah, thank you.
Justin, do you want me to do it? So let me quickly reset. So guys, how Twitter works, I'll tell you how Twitter works. So in case you want to get notifications of these spaces in future, you will have to follow Jaskirat, Aryan, and Finflow, because that's the only way, and there's no other solution to it. Once you follow them, you'll have access to a lot of threads they write, the tweets they do, and the spaces they hold. And whenever they step into these wonderful spaces, you'll also then get a notification. So I guess this will only add value to your life. So do it right now, and I guess with that, I'll give it back to Jaskira.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Thank
Govind. So yeah. Thank you guys. We'll be in. Thank you. Bye.